play it really, really fast. They rely on the front four. They've got a good rotation there right now. They've stayed healthy over the year. Nolan Smith has gone from a kid that had a rookie last year, had a sack and a half, counting the playoffs right now, he's like at 11 sacks. And he's a force. And, you know, he ran 4.3 at the combine coming out of Georgia, and now you see that speed show up, and now you see the confidence of the development that he's done. You look at, they don't beat themselves. They don't give up big plays, yet they've got 10 takeaways in 3 playoff games. 10, you know, so the punch the ball out, you know, it was the difference in the Ram game. It was the difference last week and being able to put up a 50-burger. So it's defensively, there's no weakness there. They've got a good defensive tackle rotation right now. And so, and they're well coached and they're very, very disciplined about what they do, but they tackle extremely well. Yep. Very well. Maybe the best tackling team I've seen in a while now.
Baldy, the tush push. I'm very conflicted on it. On one end, Philly's so good at it, you know, they clearly have an advantage, and that's great for them. And they run it better than anyone. No one gets as low as Jalen. There's a variety of the best at it. I'm going to take that away from them. Simultaneously, I get frustrated because I watched Deshaun Goldstein get adjudicated out of the league. Guy gets held up. He come flying in, whack that guy, personal foul, get out of here, right? Yet I can see tight ends, tight ends, running backs, wide receivers can come in and push a guy even though he's held up to move that guy's momentum forward. And I feel like all the rules are slanted toward the offense here. You know, center can kind of play with the ball a little. Quarterback can bob his head a little before that play. Defense can't move at all. Where do you stand on the tush push? I'm frustrated with it as a fan of football.
So, Jeff Stoutland's the offensive line coach in Philadelphia, and I asked him about it one day. He said, well, let me ask you this, Baldy. When Carson Wentz was our quarterback, and we didn't do the tush push, we were 36 out of 38 on quarterback sneaks. He goes, you tell me what we're doing. I mean, Jason Kelce was a common denominator. Now Cam Jurgens is. It starts with the center. And can he get underneath guys? And Cam Jurgens can. He's got very good, even with his bad back that he has right now, he can still get underneath people. So I think it does start with the center. And then, you know, Jalen does deadlift 650 pounds. He is extremely strong. So, I think that's kind of the starting point. But look, it's a very difficult play. You actually can't practice the play. You can't assimilate in practice, but the Eagles use the games as practice for it. And so everybody that tries to copy it, they don't have nearly the conversion percentage that the Eagles have. I mean, Frank Louvu is like flying over the pile to try to stop. But like, you're never going to stop the quarterback who's going underneath you by flying over the pile. It might look good on TV. I might do a breakdown on Frank Louvu doing it, but at the same time, it's a totally ineffective move. Like, that's not the play. They're not going over the top the way Tom Brady did.
Baldy here on the River Islands guest line live at the Senior Bowl, Mobile, Alabama. Speaking of the Senior Bowl, because we are kind of draft mode out here in San Francisco. We know the trenches. Well, anybody learns every single year. It seems like we talk about this, Baldy, but nobody wants to give it credence. Trenches, offensive line play, don't make mistakes, dominate the line of scrimmage. It's an old age thing out here in the playoffs when it comes to playoff football. You got to dominate the trenches. So with that said, who's out there catching your eye in the trenches as we look at these draft prospects out here?
Well, I mean, the 49ers.
Yeah, go ahead, Baldy.
Well, I mean, the 49ers need pass rushers, man. I'm looking at Mike Green right now, Marshall. You know, he's 6'4", he's 255 pounds. So he played at Marshall, but he's a dominant player. He's going to test extremely well. I don't know if he's going to get out of the first round. I don't think he will. But, you know, if you look at, Booker from Alabama at guard, like that guy's not getting out of the first round at offensive guard. But, you know, I mean, the Eagles pay their guards. You know, and they've got probably the best tandem of guards in football. All they do is move people. And Landon Dickerson and Mekhi Becton. I mean, there's players here that can go in and, like Foodie did last year, come in and start and elevate your team. So it's just a question of, you know, where's your draft position? How early do these guys go? And can you get in a position to get some of these guys?
Yeah. You know, Bonte and I are probably in alignment. I'm sure you are. Like, the defense needs major upgrades for the 49ers. Yep. So that starts, like, no matter who the coordinator is, they need major upgrades. That being said, do you like Robert Saleh, and how is Robert Saleh different now than as opposed to when he was the 49ers DC a few years back? What's changed for him?
Not much, honestly. Like when their front four was deep and good, the Jets defense was very good. And when they weren't deep and good like they weren't this year because of injuries and because they signed some players like Kinlaw and Solly Thomas that aren't, they're just not great players. They're rotation at best, but they had to play a lot of snaps this year. And when they didn't have a good anchor at defensive tackle, they gave up a lot of rush yards and they kind of collapsed. It starts up front with Robert, and he doesn't want to be a guy that has to blitz a lot, just like Philadelphia doesn't. But he doesn't have the creativity of a blitz the way Steve Spagnuolo does. He's front four dominant type of a defensive coach. He's going to get those guys coming off the ball and getting upfield, and hopefully they're 8 deep the way he likes it. When the Jets were like that, they were a very good defense. They were a top 10 defense. But I don't see the creativity and the pressures the way you get from Spags or Brian Flores or some of these other coordinators in the league right now.
And you know what, Baldy? That's Shaska and I kind of in lockstep with this. One, Salah's going to be fine. Obviously, you just mentioned personnel has to be strengthened, no doubt, with the 49ers. They need to get some players in here. But that was disappointing because we started thinking about Lou Anarumo, who got the job in Indianapolis. And Wink, I think, is still in Michigan. And I know he wants to get back in. We wanted something exotic. We wanted to see some different blitzes because we see Spags on the most crucial 4th and 5. What does he do?
Yep.
Blitz Josh Allen, corner blitz, sneaky good. Vic Fangio has that in his bag. It just feels like, boy, if you're not being creative with your blitzes in today's game on situational downs, you're not going to win high-level football games, Baldy.
I don't think so either, because if you go up against an offensive line like the Eagles, I mean, they're not going to get beat one-on-one. And so you got to figure out another way to get to the quarterback. They're just that good. I mean, Lane Johnson, Malata gave up a pressure last week. Probably didn't sleep, the other night. But other than that, Lane Johnson, he just picks another shutout over there at right tackles. And when you get offensive lines that can win one-on-ones, and you can't get there with your four, the way we saw the 49ers not get there most of the year with the front four, you can't just blitz your middle linebacker, Fred Warner, or whatever, and think that that's going to be a difference. You can run some stunts that can help against, but the good teams, they saw those stunts. They want you to stunt. They want you to twist because they saw those things off, and then it sort of stops the pass rush at that point. So I think you got to, Lou Anarumo, I'm a big fan of his. Like, he does have that ability to, send the corner attack, to bring the safety, to bring the combinations. Aaron Glenn was horrible at what he did against Washington. I mean, they picked up every single pressure there was. He didn't fool anybody, and, in that loss. And so, Jaden Daniels carved him up, and he was, probably hoping they would keep blitzing because it did not work.
Yeah, and Jaden Daniels, one last point on that one, because look, I've been watching this league a long time. I know you've been watching it twice as long as me. You do the film on every team in the league. I'm just blown away with what I've seen from. Look, the great ones do it year after year after year. We understand that. In terms of just what you saw this year, rookie performance, the moxie, the ability at the line of scrimmage pre-snap to just know what's coming, post-snap, he just never rattled. The accuracy, doesn't run unless he has to, doesn't kind of. I think this guy's the complete package, and the roster around him is not that great. Is this one of the greatest rookie seasons you've ever seen in any position?
Yes. Because, especially in his position where, they were a spread shotgun offense. He called every play at the line of scrimmage. He got everybody lined up, and he did it in the calmest manner. Like, they never had to go to timeout because of a formation or personnel. Like, they got that fixed. He either fixed it or, Cliff just never let it happen, Cliff Kingsbury. But, his ability to call the game at the line of scrimmage, even against Detroit, you go back and you watch him change plays at the line, seeing Brian Branch is going to blitz, run away from the blitz or throw into it. He saw things pre-snap like nobody else. And to be able to do everything he did, which was a complete playbook, and to see him do that at that level, and go to Detroit and handle the atmosphere and handle that scene and do what he did, he's in a class by himself right now.
Early lean on the Super Bowl, Baldy. I know you don't have to make an official pick. This is a fascinating matchup. It's hard to bet against Mahomes. But that Eagles team, man, I look at them offensively, they know what they're doing. They stay there. And that's one thing, too, in the postseason I think we all learned is staying ahead of the sticks. Philadelphia, it seems like they're always facing a 2nd and 2, a 2nd and 3, a 3rd and 1, a 4th and 1. They're always ahead of the change, and I think that's going to help them in the Super Bowl. What's your early lean after just watching both championship games and watching what you see for Philadelphia and Kansas City all year, Baldy?
Well, when the playoffs started this year, before a wild card weekend, I thought the Eagles would go 4-0 in the postseason. And, I didn't know that Detroit would be eliminated. But I thought even if Kansas City or Buffalo or Baltimore is there in the Super Bowl, they win 3 and they get there, I thought they were better than all those teams. Because I can find some weaknesses at times. Whether it's the left guard position in Kansas City or, the Pro Bowl left guard now playing left tackle. I can find some weaknesses in Kansas City. I can't find one in Philadelphia. Unless you just want to look at the field goal kicker.
Yeah.
Bucker is automatic, and you can't say that about Philadelphia right now. So that's a weakness. But they have such familiarity with each other. They played in the regular season. They played in the Super Bowl. There's people in Philadelphia, Andy Graham, that played for Andy Reid. So the whole organization has respect for him. They all know Spags. They all know what he can do. I just feel like they're the better team in the trenches, and I thought they were the best team in the trenches all year.
Andy Reid, you brought him up before we let you go, Baldy. The Chiefs are 90-26 since Mahomes took over as the starting quarterback, and he's missed a couple games here and there in the regular season, but overall they're 90-26. Not to mention their great playoff record. Is what Andy Reid and Mahomes done together over the last 7 years? Are they on a trajectory to be more impressive than Bill Belichick and Brady in New England?
Well, if they go 3 in a row here, they are. I mean, if they get 4 Super Bowls in 5 tries, and they do, 4 Super Bowl wins in 8 years, in a compressed period of time, they're the best ever. I mean, if they do this 3-peat thing, we're going to start comparing them to other dynasties and other sports, whether, it's the Lakers, whether it's the Yankees or whatever. We're going to put them in the pantheon of the greatest dynasties in any sport if they go in 3-peat here. And I don't, if they do this and they pull this off, I don't think it's something we'll ever see again. Because of the health, the coaching, the balance in the league, all the things that are stacked against you, for them to do this and be in this position, and if they can pull this off, we're going to talk about them as greatest of all time.
Wow. The Niners will have lost multiple to them. Jesus.
Well, the Eagles, too. If the Eagles lose, they're the same boat, which is what I want, Baldy. I want the Eagles fans to suffer like we have over the last 5 years. But I don't know if it's going to happen. But what a run. 19-26 for the regular season, not to mention a playoff record. And they feel like, Baldy, how's the team with Buffalo? Even when they were winning 22-21, it's just that sequence. And I understand everything you were saying. But it just felt like they were the team playing behind. I'm like, wait a minute. You guys have to lead. It's like the Warriors teams with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry, where even if you're up 15, you're pressing, thinking, well, they can just score 25 straight in a heartbeat. What do we do here? Where every play just felt like they were getting tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah, well, I felt it. And you could see it in Josh Allen. And Mahomes, he never has that look on his face, never. And Andy Reid and him, they just go about their business. They chart the next play. Mahomes never seems confused by anything. And if they throw some curveball at him, which was weird because in the game that they played earlier in the year, week 11, they spied Mahomes the whole game. And he had no runs in the game. He did not run one time. He got sacked, he threw an interception, he threw the ball away, but he never ran. And I thought they would spy him in that game, and they didn't. And I can't figure out why they didn't take a player. Now, maybe they just thought, okay, they're fully healthy at receiver. We need to make sure that we're taking care of some of these guys. But we never saw them spy Mahomes. And he took off a number of times, didn't run for a lot of yards, but he picked up his usual first downs to extend drives. And if you let him do that, he'll do that.
Wow, Super Bowl's going to be a lot of fun. Baldy, enjoy the Senior Bowl, man. We're jealous, man, seeing all those players. Hopefully we get a good report on who's shining out there in the Senior Bowl this week in Mobile, Alabama. Take care, Baldy. Thanks for the time, as always.
Yep, see you, Joe. See you, Bonte.
All right.
Take care, bud.
All right, Baldy, Brian Baldy, your hero on the border, Russ, says he joins us every single Tuesday at 7:30 throughout the football season. But that said, we'll react to what he had to say about Robert Saleh, the blitzing, Reed and Mahomes being the best ever, possibly if they win. There's a lot to dive into off of Brian Baldinger. Then we'll get Mike Pereira on at 8:30. The former vice president of officiating in the National Football League and the current rules analyst at Fox Sports. He'll join us at 8:30 here on the Morning Roast. But in the meantime, let's get to the injury report.
It's time for the injury report. Brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
All right, Draymond Green. Part B had his drain left calf reevaluated yesterday. He's making good progress. He's expected to rejoin practice later this weekend. Will be monitored day to day. Jonathan Kuminga, recovery from a right ankle sprain, was also reevaluated and cleared to begin on-court activity. He will be reevaluated again in 2 weeks. JK, 2 more weeks. 30 missed 3. What an injury, man. Talk about bad timing. The injury report brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. 888-957-9570. If Freedom Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, they're the best ever. Simple question for the roasters out there, 888-957-9570. Plus, Robert Saleh. We haven't really dove into the Robert Saleh hire. Are you high on that, Shasky? Are you a little disappointed with the Saleh hire? We'll get into that as well. 888-957-9570. That is brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 30th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment taxes and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, they have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-497-8091. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-497-8091. That's 800-497-8091. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. And you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Taxes. Only Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/fees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Or go online at Carsford to donate today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Log in and listen to this station for your chance to win an epic trip to Las Vegas. It's Slam Dunk in Vegas. Just create or log into your free Odyssey account on the app or Odyssey.com. Search for this station, click the live button, and listen for a minimum of 60 minutes to get your daily entry. A chance to win a trip to Las Vegas for you and 3 friends with $20,000. It's Slam Dunk in Vegas. For more, go to Odyssey.com/Slam Dunk. This is a national contest.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with a sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's. Participating in
If you love designer brands and you love clearance, then you're going to love this. Macy's is having a huge designer clearance event right now with incredible new designer markdowns on cold weather styles from BCBG, Hugo Boss, Michael Kors, and more. How big are the markdowns? How about Coach boots for $200 or less? So if you're looking for the things you love all in one place, come in and shop the designer clearance event at Macy's today. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube.